I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you ready to be a part of the conversation that will help shape our nation's future? Get ready to join us for the Left Coast Forum, Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech, where progressive voices will come together to tackle the issues that matter most to working families across Los Angeles and beyond. From economic justice to climate action, from healthcare to housing, we're bringing together the brightest minds and most passionate advocates for real solutions and real change. With workshops, 2 major keynote addresses, and a closing reception with great music and good food. It's the Left Coast Forum, where your voice matters and your ideas take action. Saturday, October 25th at LA Trade Tech. Brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and the LA Progressive. The future won't wait, and neither should you. Mark your calendar now to be there and be heard. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details.
First things first.
First things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is called First Things First, and my first thing today and every day is giving thanks to God, giving praises, asking for blessings every single day, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders, and let's go, okay? This is Talk Radio, so let's talk. The way we do it on a Monday, we call it a Mindful Monday. Like to start the week out centered in meditation, in introspection, in understanding of self and how we can do better. So, on Mindful Monday, hour 1, we do local, what's going on around here, left coast side of town. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond, but we start out with a Mindful Monday affirmation, meditation, and the like with Sahara Ali, who is a sound bath specialist, life coach, astrologer, and the like. Great way to start the week. And then hour 3, we do a deep dive, which is what we do every day pretty much on our third hour. And today we'll be talking with Dr. Carolyn Kalustian and focus on your heart health. And that's what we got going for you. Also, we'll be hearing from our station general manager, Mr. Gary Bembridge. Looking forward to that, about a new initiative we have going on, something new and exciting at KBLA. So many things, busy schedule, but guess what? You're part of it. You're invited into it. You are it. 800-920-1580 is the number if you want to call and talk. If you want to talk without calling, you can go to YouTube, where I'm streaming live right now at KBLA 1580. And then, it's youtube.com. Then you type in KBLA 1580. The live stream is there. There are comments, and our chat room is always quite active. So many ways to weigh in. Another one of those would be social media. Hello, good morning. One of those would be social media, which is KBLA 1580 on every single platform. I'm at DiPrima Radio. That's DIPRIMA, and then radio. And I always love to hear from you there as well. So I hope you had a great weekend. I guess Hispanic Heritage Month. I never say Hispanic because it sounds cheesy to me. Latino Heritage Month. Well, I once did a survey when I was at a different station where we used to say no color lines. I once did a survey, and our listeners overwhelmingly preferred Latino to Hispanic. So happy that. And yeah, so we got a lot to talk about as usual. But I do have to tell you, because I've gotten a lot of people calling me, and also I kind of wanted to clap back a little bit because people are calling me, DMing me, texting me, everythinging me, because the comments have been so mean on my social media, from Instagram, especially Twitter. Twitter is like a cesspool of meanness. And then not really on TikTok. I haven't seen it on TikTok, at least not yet, but mostly on Twitter and somewhat on Instagram. And folks are like, what is going on? Well, on what day was that? Oh, it was Friday. On Friday, I was talking about the murder of Charlie Kirk, the conservative activist, the podcaster, radio guy, founder of Turning Point. He's a conservative icon, really. And we were talking about him for various reasons. One of the things I said, and which, interestingly, now that it's safe to go in the water, more people are saying, but my immediate reaction was that why are we flying flags at half staff? Of course, I said over and over repeatedly that I don't believe you get to just murder someone. I always say that, you know, even though your cause may be powerful and all of those arguments, I just don't believe you get to murder people. I always say that. That's basic Dominique 101. That's basic human existence 101. We don't get to take each other's life. I don't believe the state should be taking our lives either, by the way. I'm against the death penalty. I'm against execution, community violence, all that. And so I said that I don't believe we fly our flags at half staff for someone who made millions promoting hate. That is what I said. And I stand by that. He made a lot of money promoting anti-LGBT, anti-black women in particular, black men too, anti-immigrant. That's what he did. And people took exception with me saying that. I don't think you fly your flags at half staff for that. I do not think he's supposed to be flying in Air Force Two. His body, I should say. And I don't think that you give a Medal of Honor to somebody who I would describe as a white supremacist. People were arguing with me, not a white supremacist, you know, and that's fine. Argue on the merits. You don't have to send me pictures of nooses and stuff like that. But whatever, do you. I just thought, so you're arguing that you're not racist by calling me the N-word on Twitter. Very effective. In any case, this is KBLA. So if I worked at MSNBC, I'd be fired, right, already. And that's what they're calling for me to be fired. If I worked at CNN or NBC or ABC, I'd probably be fired. Even though what I said was verifiably true, and I didn't think it was offensive. Someone was on my timeline on Instagram talking about you. Oh, but you were happy when they flew the flag at half staff for George Floyd, which they did not do. Okay, which they did not do. A lot of folks have made the point that black people did not kill this man. And I honestly don't think progressives did it, even though they're trying to paint it that way. This killer comes from a very conservative family. They're all shooters. They took down pictures of him with the guns. Now they're trying to say he veered over into leftist ideology. I think it's an attempt at a cover-up. They're spreading unverified rumors. When they do that, it's because they're in a panic. And by they, I mean the New York Post. I mean, people like Ann Coulter, Laura Loomer, people like that. As far as we know for sure he's white. We know for sure he's not gay. We know for sure that he is young and white, and probably very conservative. In fact, the message is that this group called the Gropers, they thought he was too not conservative enough. So anyway, what happened, and Miles can jump in, even though he wasn't even talking, but he still gets to deal with all the BS, is that the publication called Breitbart, which is, if you're not familiar, it's a far right-wing website / news agency that was founded by Steve Bannon, who used to be in the first Trump administration. And they're kind of like, I would call them like the assignment desk for the far-right conservatives. Anyway, they picked up, it's called Breitbart News. It's a far-right opinion commentary, so-called news site. I guess it was founded by Andrew Breitbart, but made internationally popular by the former executive chairman, Steve Bannon. He called it the platform of the alt-right. I didn't make that up. Bannon said that. Anyway, they took a clip of our show, which is very surprising. Oh, you listen to Black Talk Radio? Okay. I feel like they have some kind of AI program that was trawling the internet for people talking about Charlie Kirk. And since a lot of Dems were being mealy-mouthed and scary and doing thoughts and prayers, they found us because we were speaking truth to power like we usually do, all of us on this station. And they posted it. I think it's at over 1 million now. And then a bunch of other right-wingers posted. Ann Coulter posted it and some others. So as a result of that, we got threats on the station, threats on my life, tons of emails calling me to be fired, and people in my DMs and on my timelines going crazy. I'm explaining this because, as I said, many of my usual friends, the KBLA delegation, you may not have been following what was going on. And they're just bewildered as to why all these people are talking smack on my timeline. Miles, did you get some of those calls on Friday? Well, it's best of after that.
Yeah, no, I didn't get any, but we did receive a nice amount of them on our main desk
I know.
option. So
I feel like we should get something for our receptionist. She had to take a lot of abuse on the phone. She didn't say nothing on the mic. That was me. 800-920-1580 if you want to say a thing about a thing. And I had a lot of people calling me.
you feel?
I feel good. I stand on what I said. I don't, the only thing that I was advised against doing in the future is telling people F you, which I did say. And I did say that. I'm not going to comment further on it because I've been advised, not to say that. But I wasn't saying it in general. I was saying it because if you believe that black women do not have brain processing power like this man believed, and that all of us who have jobs are using DEI because we didn't get our jobs honestly, then forget you. Let me say that. Forget you, since I'm not supposed to say the other thing.
I feel like this though, Dominique. Like we've said worse on this station. I think
every single day. Hello.
Go in every show, everywhere, every topic. For 4 years we've been going in. So it's about time y'all turned on the AI, turned Palantir on to, listen to the truth one time. What are y'all doing? Come on now.
Right, you guys are late in finding us. That's why I think they were having trouble finding someone that wasn't too scared to speak. But I will take your phone calls, 800-920-1580. Here's some just Charlie Kirk quotes. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Prowling blacks go around for fun and go target white people. If we were doing that, y'all would have all been dead. We could have killed you in your sleep during slavery. Anyway. The Chicago gun violence problem is due to a lack of father problem in the black community. Ketanji Brown Jackson is a recipient of affirmative action and unqualified. That is white supremacy. White supremacists believe that they are delusional, and they delusionally believe that they are a superior race and we are an inferior race. That is white supremacy. Those quotes demonstrate that. That's not me making something up. Therefore, me saying that Mr. Kirk was a white supremacist is a true statement. Oh, they're all saying I should be sued and the estate should sue me and blah, 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 blah. Look, I don't talk out of the side of my neck. You might not like what I say, but when I speak after reading or listening. That's how I roll. I'm opinionated. That's my job. This is an opinion station. But I'm not like y'all over there on the far right just making stuff up. I don't do that. That said, I don't think this has to be a left-right political Democratic Republican issue. I think it's an issue of free speech, free press. I think it's an issue of violence and political violence. Although I agree, political violence is endemic to this country. We were founded on that. So if we enter an era where that's not who we are, that'll be a new era. Taking your phone calls next, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte. Let's preserve black land stories before they're lost forever. I want to personally invite you to be a part of something historic. As journalist in residence for the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, I've joined forces with powerhouse attorney and social justice champion George Fothery, the man who helped make history by delivering justice to the Bruce family in Manhattan Beach, securing the first known return of land unjustly taken from black owners by a local government. That victory was monumental, but it was just the beginning. For generations, black families have acquired land through grit, faith, and determination, only to lose it through violence, legal loopholes, forced sales, and systematic racism. What's been taken goes far beyond dirt and deeds. It's the erasure of wealth, identity, and legacy. That's why we've launched the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, a national effort to collect, protect, and preserve the stories of black land lost before they're buried, forgotten, or erased altogether. Because there's power in telling black stories, there is resistance in remembering, and there's justice in being seen and heard. This is where you come in. We're inviting you to be a part of this historic black narrative archive. If you or someone you know has experienced land loss, displacement, or forced property sales, your story deserves to be heard and remembered. Your story belongs in this archive. Your truth matters not just to your family, but to our collective future. Visit blacklandlost.org today. Fill out our simple intake form and add your voice to the National Archive of Remembrance, Resilience, and Reckoning. Let's make these stories live on, not in whispers, but on the record. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2025, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns under audit, have a wage or bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-260-3330. That's 800-260-3330. Find out if you qualify today, 800-260-3330, or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, so Miles pointed out to me that I might have used the wrong expression. That was not meant to be a reference to Mr. Kirk. Okay. I always say that. It's an expression that I say about talking out the side of my neck. That was not meant to be about him. But my point is, what I'm saying is that when I say a thing, I've done some research. I don't just make stuff up. That's not what I do. It's not my brand. It's not my heart. It's based on what I read, watch, and hear on, other outlets sometimes. Then even if I hear it somewhere, I'm going to fact check it. I had people sending me all kinds of Charlie Kirk quotes. Then I checked them because some of them turn out to be not Charlie Kirk quotes. The internets are tricky. You can't just take the internet's word for it. The internet's on fire with conspiracy theories about Mr. Kirk. Israel killed him. The right killed him. The Groper group killed him because he wasn't conservative enough. In fact, Nick Fuentes, who is affiliated with that group, had to issue a statement saying it wasn't us, basically. Of course, they're saying the left did it. That's coming from the right. The conspiracy theories are myriad, that he was feuding with some billionaires. None of those have I been able to verify. Okay. You've all seen the videos of the security supposedly giving signals, and then they're saying it was the same security guy that was at the Trump assassination attempt. To me, they didn't look like the same security guy. They both looked like white dudes that do security, but other than that, I didn't see the resemblance that closely. What I did say on Friday, which I stand by also, the guy in the videotape that the FBI initially presented does not look the same as the guy that they have in custody. What that means, I don't know, but I'm talking about what I saw with my eyes. Okay, let's go to Sam calling us from Los Angeles. Good morning, Sam.
Morning, Dominique. Okay, look, I got a few things I want to ask you or make a statement. Last week, and it kept bothering me, you kept saying about how could a 22-year-old man get a rifle, shoot from that distance 20 yards, and use one shot. Well, first of all, Dominique, that don't make sense. And I'm not piling on you, jumping on you, but
you can.
Some people, I mean,
we're getting used to it this week.
I don't do that. I don't do that. Some kids, black, Mexican, whatever, depends on where you grew up at. Some people start shooting guns at 8, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
Second of all, 200 yards is no big deal. If you notice, it was a high-powered rifle, which they say used to shoot like deer or whatever, big game hunting. That's why you have a scope on there. You kept saying, how can he do it with one shot? How can he do it
Well, I
from,
just thought, to me, it seemed like an expert shooter. And I have heard that from other shooters, people that I know that are really ballistics experts. But what one thing that I would change about that opinion now, Sam, is having seen that this guy allegedly grew up, that his dad was a cop and he grew up in a family of gun culture. So he may be one of those people that you're talking about that started shooting as a little kid. I mean, because the family social media, they've taken it down, but they had a lot of pictures of everybody in the family holding guns. So that goes to your theory that he probably, if in fact he is the shooter, he probably was trained in gun culture since a little kid.
You don't think he was the shooter?
I don't know. I with this administration, I need proof because everything is fishy to me. And I'm not trying to turn into a conspiracy theorist, but I don't know. I do know those two guys don't look the same. Huh? What am I doubting? I'm doubting whether it was a setup. I'm doubting whether it was really a lone shooter. Who put the gun on the roof? He put it in on the roof and then went away and came back and got it. Because he didn't climb up there with the gun. And then maybe the guys giving signals on the stage it's just a coincidence, or they're really breakdancing. They're really pop locking behind him. I don't know. Why are they doing that? I just think there's a lot of unanswered questions.
All right.
And look, JFK, RFK, MLK. I'm not saying he was a president or on MLK level. But what I'm saying is we got to, Malcolm X, the 2 Trump assassination attempts. We have a lot of unanswered questions in this country when it comes to political violence. And so I need to see the receipts is all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, let me say a couple more things, too.
Yes,
now,
sir.
It was kind of funny. I'm chuckling, not in the laughing way, when you said that the guy wasn't gay. And just the guy, the shooter, the alleged shooter, was not gay. That's what you said a few minutes ago.
Well, I mean, I don't know him personally, but it doesn't appear that he is, no.
No. I'm going to tell you. This morning I saw it. I'm like you, Dominic. I'm a news junkie. This morning they said that his roommate, which I guess roommate /
I saw that crap, Sam, but that's not verified. That's something they made up. They say a source says. Okay, so maybe it was, but for right now, that goes on the level of, them trying to quickly turn it into a left-wing trans issue because they don't want to deal with the fact that the phone call came from inside the house.
Okay, then they say, but they said this morning that his roommate was transitioning, going from male to female. That's what it said this morning.
Prove
Did you
it.
hear that? I saw that on TV.
Yeah, I saw it, but I don't. When I've seen it, they say a source says. They say allegedly. Show me the proof.
Okay.
Because they would love to blame trans people. They would love to blame gay people. There's no black people in sight. They can be mad at me, but they can't blame us because this didn't have nothing to do with us. And that's the truth.
Okay.
But
one more thing.
Okay.
Last thing. Okay. Did you see, and I'm surprised they showed it enough on the local news, but I saw this black guy, I don't know if he's a preacher or what, and I was so disgusted. They had a visual for this jerk for Charlie Kirk. Somewhere out here in South Central. Did you see that, Dominique?
I'm sorry.
They had a visual for him?
There's been a number of them.
Okay, what was the one out here in South Central L.A.?
Okay, now they're saying the guy's cooperating with the FBI, so we'll see as far as the trans person, the alleged trans roommate. Anyway.
Yeah, right. Oh.
Yeah, we'll see.
Charlie Kirk. They didn't have one in South Central L.A. for Charlie Kirk somewhere?
I didn't see one in South Central, did you? I saw one in Orange County. I've seen that there were supposedly some overseas, but I haven't seen one around here. I guess it's possible. I haven't seen it. Did you see that, Sam?
No, I didn't see it. I saw it on news. I thought they were saying, I saw a few black people, and I thought it said South Central. I might have made a mistake, Dominique, okay?
Well, you might not have. I didn't hear about it, though. That would be surprising. Yeah, that would be surprising. I don't know. But I do see that, they're spreading that. But if you look at who's reporting this thing about the supposed transgender roommate, so far it's mostly, well, actually, I'm starting to see some slightly more credible sources. This started with the New York Post and all the, Telegraph and Daily Mail and all those desperately seeking to blame the left, for this issue. Anyway, I have got more on that for you after news, traffic, and sports. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is cracking down on religious discrimination in land deals after a Houston imam pressured Muslim businesses to stop selling pork and alcohol.
Texas courts govern those businesses and those neighborhoods.
Abbott signed a bill targeting developments like Epic City near Dallas, saying no-go zones based on religion are un-Texan. The Congressional Black Caucus is demanding a federal investigation into threats made against at least 6 HBCUs. Though the FBI labeled them hoaxes, lawmakers say the incidents reflect a disturbing pattern of racism and call for urgent action to protect black students. And rapper Meek Mill is urging America to look beyond race and tackle the root causes of violence, especially untreated mental health. After a deadly shooting in Philly, he criticized selective media coverage and called for deeper conversations on healing and prevention. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Do you really know what's in your tap water? LifeSource believes your water should support your health, not work against it. Upgrade your water with a LifeSource Whole House Water system during September's Double Dip promo. Call 800-WATER-99 or visit LifeSourceWater.com.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Impressive victory for the Rams Sunday at Tennessee. The Rams improved to 2-0 with a dominant 33-19 win. 5 sacks for the Rams defense. Quarterback Matthew Stafford had a strong day with 298 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. The Chargers are in Vegas tonight to take on the Raiders. 7 p.m. kickoff on ESPN. The UCLA administration has seen enough. After only 15 games as UCLA's head coach, Deshaun Foster was fired Sunday morning after the Bruins' 0-3 start this season. The 35-10 loss at home to New Mexico Friday night was the last straw for the administration. New Mexico was picked to finish 11th in the Mountain West Conference. Foster was 5-10 in his short role as head coach. Bruins assistant Tim Skipper will be the interim coach the rest of the season. The Dodgers beat San Francisco 10-2. They lead San Diego by 2.5 in the NL West. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., inviting you to join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley here on KBLA Talk 1580. As a law school graduate and a theologian with a firm grasp of our body politic given almost 2 decades in Congress, my show is the fresh new home of an authentic, uncompromised quest for transformation and salvation, both personal and collectively, as I vigorously interrogate the theological and symbolic meanings embedded in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show only on KBLA Talk 1580.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
No warrant, no key. Privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside.
Don't say a thing.
Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, again, this statement about the transgender roommate was repeated by the governor, which is why the governor of Utah, which is why it's on Newsweek. And they're saying that the roommate is transitioning from male to female and that they are cooperating with police. Again, I need to see the receipts because so far the sources are all people who are trying to justify and that don't want to believe that one of their own, which Governor Cox said out of his own mouth, don't want to believe that one of their own did this. They're claiming that this trans person was the shooter's romantic partner. But that also tracks with right-wing ideology. Remember the conversation we had about Laverne Cox and her fans being mad at her? She's a transgender woman, probably the most famous transgender woman in the world. I don't know, it'll be a contest between her and Caitlyn Jenner. But anyway, I think it's probably Cox because she's like a movie star and stuff. So in any case, when she revealed that she was dating a MAGA cop and her fans turned on her because the MAGA, part of the Make America Great Again crowd, is one of the things they do is try to curtail rights and dehumanize trans people and blame them for everything. So they were angry. But one of the things that came out of that conversation in many of these chats and online and on air conversations is that a lot of trans folks came forward and said, yeah, that some of their biggest fans, the people that want to sleep with or have secret relationships with trans people, a lot of them are coming from the far right. It's like the ultimate, I guess, taboo if you're far right wing, cisgender, white person, allegedly. All right, let's go to Michael calling us from Kansas City. Good morning, Michael.
Yes, good morning, and thank you for taking my call. First, and I hadn't planned it, didn't know this, I want to say it's unfortunate and crazy that you all are being intimidated for really just taking what Charlie Kirk said, repeating it, and coming to a reasonable conclusion. I mean, you say these hateful things about black people, you can conclude it's a white supremacist. So I want to say that, and again, it's unfortunate you're getting this. You mentioned that the governor had said something about the person's alleged partner and being repeated. What they haven't repeated is something else he said during a press conference, that he hoped that the trigger man came from outside the state or another country.
Yep.
That hadn't been repeated a lot. And even on the Sunday talk shows, ABC Donna Brazile is usually full of details. She was even very reserved.
Yeah.
She knew in that media environment not to bring that up. He wanted, like it's been said, the call came from inside the house. Yeah. Allegedly, if this person is the shooter. They haven't. They don't want to admit that there is, and this has been said in some circles, a white-on-white crime problem. Yeah. And the truth hurts. As far as the intimidation, what came to mind is Ida B. Wells.
My hero.
Black press.
She's my hero.
Is known for saying what the white press at that time and white media now doesn't want to say. And there are other black outlets that are giving the details. One of the things going forward, his widow has said, hey, admission's going to continue. It would be interesting, and I don't know that anybody close to him is ever going to bring this up, with what he said about black women, black pilots, it would be interesting to know, was that just his personal opinion? Is that her opinion? Is that the official position of Turning Point USA.
When you say her position, you're talking about the wife, or you're talking
widow.
about
Yeah,
the widow?
the wife.
My understanding is that his widow is very much on board with the policies, and if you the Turning Point puts forward, and if you saw the speech, I mean, she wasn't specific when she spoke at the funeral, but she also was. I mean, it seemed like more of a battle cry than what you would normally expect at a funeral. It seemed like more of a battle cry. Some folks on social media took it as a threat. She was talking about you don't know what you've unleashed and all that.
Yeah, it would be interesting to know if they're going to continue that line of reasoning, because it is free speech, but it's also hate speech.
Okay, so when did the right become, like, they were supposed to be the free speech absolutists, but now they're coming after my job for saying I don't think the flag should be at a half-staff, which is typically reserved for heads of state. They don't.
We all know that is a farce. They're just saying that. They just we know. It's one of those nod, wink, wink.
But what happened to free speech absolutism? What happened to that?
That the old, and I go back far enough to know that this Republican Party is not the same. It is as bad as the old Republican, but it's even worse. They're just saying that because it sounds good. Again, it's not wanting to face up. Thanks for taking my call. Continue the work that Ida B. Wells and the Black Press has done. You're all doing a fantastic job. And there are going to be people that don't like it.
Yeah.
They don't want to face it.
I mean, it's okay. You don't have to like it, but that doesn't mean we have to get threats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. You too. God bless. And I've said, and I'll keep saying, you don't just get to kill people. And for those who are mourning him, I do have empathy for you. I have empathy. I believe in empathy. But I'm not going to sit here and try to pretend like this man was some kind of hero. And that's what people in the press are doing. And to your point about Donna Brazile, if I'm getting threats, imagine what the mainstream media are getting, right? Imagine what Abby Phillip and Donna Brazile and those folks are getting, who are really in the limelight. I can only imagine. Now, J.D. Vance is supposed to be hosting the Charlie Kirk show in tribute to him. That is, right there, once again, it is elevating him to a level. And I get that they were friends, but you're still the vice president of the United States. Remember how Obama had to say, I'm not the president of Black America, I'm the president of all of America. Like he had to reassure people that I'm your president too. Well, I need a reassurance from Republicans, from Trump and J.D. Vance, that you're all of America's president. Because when you fly a flag at half-staff and go host the guy's show and put him on Air Force Two, what you're telling me is that you are the president of people who disparage Black women. That's what you're the president of. That's what you're the vice president of. And I need one of those statements. I'm the president of all of America, not just far right-wing America. That's what I need. That's what I would like to see. But that's happening today. Not that they haven't already paid tribute, but that's next level tribute. So yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot more to say about it. I stand by what I said. I feel that I'm really blessed to work at a Black-owned media outlet where we actually do believe in free speech. So even if management doesn't agree with everything I said, they're not automatically going to fire me like they do at MSNBC. Even if what you said was factually true, but they think it was, you shouldn't be saying it right now, or they're scared to say it or whatever. So, and it's also another reminder of why we need independently owned media, where I don't have to sit here and be scared. Am I going to get fired today? Am I going to get fired tomorrow? if I do, that won't be the reason. There'll be a better reason than that. Yeah, speaking of station ownership, big happy birthday going out to Mr. Tavis Smiley. His birthday was Saturday. And Virgo season is well underway. So happy birthday to all the Virgos in the KBLA delegation. Something tells me there are many of them. But a special happy birthday to the man, the visionary behind this particular project, KBLA Talk 1580, one Tavis E. Smiley. So if you get a chance, holler at him, hit him up on the DMs, go through, be that bright spot in between all the mean comments on the timeline, say happy birthday to someone who truly deserves it. There's a lot of other stuff that we need to catch up on. Apparently, looks like TikTok has a buyer. We'll look at that and more when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
So many things, big and little, make you uniquely you. Your hobbies, dreams, career, family, and more. Addiction to drugs, including opioids and stimulants, can strip these away from you. Recover your life. Choose treatment for drug addiction and get back to what matters most. Find a provider and proven treatment option that's right for you at choosechangeca.org. Recover you.
If you're an African American mom who is pregnant or have a baby under 6 months old, you deserve care that lifts, listens, and lasts. Black Infant Health is for you. It's a free program with individual support, group sessions, and resources to start your mothering journey. BIH makes space for moms and their families to create community. Learn more about the programs in Los Angeles County. Check us out at blackinfanthealth.org.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Is your loved one at the hospital or in a nursing home? Have they developed bed sores, fallen, or worse? These are things your family members should be protected from. Bed sores, falls, and dehydration are almost always the result of negligent care. If this has happened to your loved one, call Zorin at Basic Law Group at 800-215-1234 or visit basiclawgroup.com. The consultation is free, and if they don't win, you don't pay. That's 800-215-1234.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
I also want to say, I just want to express my love for my community. Lamert Park, Crenshaw, South LA. People have been amazing. People have been getting my back, calling me, trying to go with me here, go with me there. Folks have been, if we keep us safe was a person, I guess that would be me right now. So I'm really just feeling a lot of gratitude for the love in my community, the way people have been stepping up, neighbors, friends, organizations, loved ones. Really, thank you. That's just the greatest blessing. I saw the same kind of mobilization when we had a stalker issue around here. So I love you guys back, and I'm really, really grateful. Let me speak on TikTok before I forget. So the president said that at the trade meeting between Europe and the United States and China, that a deal was reached to make TikTok viable to remain in operation in the U.S. indefinitely. He hinted that it was a sale, but there's no details on this. CNN is reporting that the president will likely be making an announcement on Friday. I don't know. It's him. It's, DJT, so ain't no telling. But it looks like they have something, and that they've reached a deal with China to keep the app functioning. And he said young people, on Truth Social, he said he'd reached a deal that young people would be happy about. I would argue it's not just young people. A lot of people have their business model based on TikTok. People are making a living on TikTok, young, old, and very young. So hopefully they don't ruin it. And hopefully it's not Musk or somebody who would ruin the platform. Because now that I'm on there, I'm finding that it's a great platform. In any case, I guess we'll find out on Friday. Meanwhile, there is a funeral for Charlie Kirk. They're having it at a stadium outside of Arizona where he lived. It's over a 60,000 seat stadium, and it's a security nightmare for the Secret Service because it's huge. It has a retractable roof, but how do you screen 63? It says 63,000 people. You got to register in advance. You got to give a name, an email, cell phone, and a zip code. But with burner phones, and it's easy to get it. I don't know. That seems like a security nightmare. That's where the Cardinals play, the NFL, the Arizona Cardinals. And the president is probably going to be there. The vice president will definitely be there, and a lot of dignitaries. So they're going to have to keep it secure somehow. Meanwhile, the president and the first lady are traveling overseas this week, which means the Secret Service has got to go deal with that. So it's going to be a challenge. I don't expect anything to happen. I do feel like that was very targeted. And I think whether the shooter was to the right or to the left, the same question remains. The domestic terrorists, the Dylan Roofs of the world, the Kyle Rittenhouses of the world, they're young white men. The FBI has even said repeatedly that domestic terror is our main security challenge for this country. What is happening with the radicalization of these young men? And how do you, the parents of said young people, stop that? In this case, the gun culture, whether the shooter is left or right, clearly comes from the family. So how do we stop that? I heard from one security expert over the weekend that the Emmys all of the celebs had ramped up security, that it's a boom time if you're in the bodyguard business. Everybody doubled and tripled down on the security. A bunch of political events have already been canceled, according to CNN, because people in Congress and in the Senate are doing cost-benefit analysis and deciding that their own safety is more important than interacting with the public. And it could be for the moment, but I don't think so, because this is one of a series of, remember we had the attack on Paul Pelosi, and it seems like, the assassination of Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman at their house, and then of course not as blatantly political, but still political, the United Healthcare CEO who was killed in Manhattan, right? So there is an escalation in violence, even though we know this is an American tradition, but we're having a surge. So should electeds pull back? I mean, I think you have to. I think you have to be extra careful. I don't think this is good for anybody. It's not good for the left. It's not good for the right. And It's not good for politics. It's terrible. For entertainment, it's terrible. For human beings. Everybody should be safe. Everyone has a right to be safe and secure. And I won't call myself a free speech absolutist, because when you're calling for somebody's lynching, that's not just an opinion. That's incitement. When you're calling for someone else to lose their life or their rights or their job, that goes beyond just opinion. I won't call myself a free speech absolutist, but I do love the Second Amendment. And in my family, we have a tradition of words, not guns. But we've seen, ironically, many an attempt to punish family members. My father and mother have both had to defend themselves in court because of their poems. Not their guns, their poetry. And famously, my father was on the stand and they were talking to him about what he said and where he mailed it. They said it was obscene. He was a political writer, but they said it was obscene. And his response, he kept saying, so what you're saying is you don't like my poem. That's classic Baraka right there. So what you're saying is you don't like the poem. So what you're saying is you don't like the podcast. So what you're saying, I should copy my father. So what you're saying is you don't like my radio show. You can't stand my podcast. That's your right. That's your prerogative. But let us be clear. There is an actual definable definition of fascism. There's a definition of white supremacy. I didn't make it up. When your words support the view that you fall into one of those categories, that's not defamation. That's analysis, right? So you can call me. I take calls every day. You don't have to hide in my DMs. I'm here Monday through Friday taking phone calls. Agree to disagree. Disagree without disrespect. You know, squabble up without bullets. That is supposed to be foundational to America. When did the right become the snowflakes? When did y'all become the ones that you complain about us being woke? Because we advocate talking to people respectfully. If someone wants to be called he or she or Joe or Joan, we do what Neely Fuller said, and we call people what they want to be called. That's not politically correct. That's called respectful. It's called respecting another person's dignity and humanity. And I don't think that should be affiliated with Republicans or Democrats. I think that should be considered polite, normal human interaction. When did y'all become woke? It's not even woke. Woke doesn't even sound right. I need another word for it. I'll think of one. The snowflakes of the far right. We got news, traffic, and sports, then more. Only right here.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is cracking down on religious discrimination in land deals after a Houston imam pressured Muslim businesses to stop selling pork and alcohol.
Texas courts govern those businesses and those neighborhoods.
Abbott signed a bill targeting developments like Epic City near Dallas, saying no-go zone action to protect black students. And rapper Meek Mill is urging America to look beyond race and tackle the root